Hi, this is Jeff Lerner from Studio Cycles and StudioCycles.com, and in this short YouTube video I want to talk about should you buy local or should you have a bike shipped from Studio Cycles. Now, conventional wisdom would tell you that it would be safer to buy an indoor group cycle locally, and I would agree with that from a conventional wisdom perspective. But when you factor in that almost every single used indoor group cycle or spinner model comes from a used fitness equipment warehouse, except for Studio Cycles, my company. We are an indoor cycling specific company. And what we do with our bikes, when we refurbish, we tear them down to the bare frames. We're talking new bearings, and these are 2011 models that were from a trade show, and we tear them down to the bare frames. We replace the bearings and the flywheels, the bottom brackets, the resistance pads. This is a bike that every single fitness equipment, every single used fitness equipment company that I've ever dealt with would take this bike, they'd wipe it down, oil the chain, and sell it as is for $800–900 bucks. We didn't build these bikes, so we don't know who built them, and we take nothing for granted. So the point that I'm making here is that if you're in Pennsylvania or Bangor, Maine, or Miami, Florida, or Seattle, Washington, or Phoenix, Arizona, and you buy a used indoor group cycle from a website or a fitness equipment company and they're local, the chances of them rebuilding the bike, whether it's 6 months old or 6 years old, is pretty slim. And a good measuring stick for that is the warranty that they provide. We provide lifetime parts replacement on most of the refurbished bikes that we sell, and certainly we do it on our new bikes. Now, we do a lot of extra stuff. Our packaging is absolutely extraordinary. Our rebuild process is extraordinary, and it's proprietary to the bikes that we sell. And I've never seen another company that operates on the level that we operate on. There are a couple companies here in Southern California that they do rebuild the bikes, but the guys that finish, basically, they tear the bike apart and they bolt it back together. And I've gone on dozens and dozens and dozens of calls in clubs where clubs have bought refurbished, quote unquote refurbished commercial bikes, but the guys who put them together, they don't test ride them, they don't tune them, they don't have the capability to do that. Typically, used fitness equipment companies employ guys with mechanical skills. They can take stuff apart and put it back together again. But it's a special developed skill to be able to tear a bike apart, put it back together again, whether it's new or used, which is what we do with all of our bikes, and then optimize the bike and then ride it and fine tune it. And that's what I do personally with every bike that leaves my company. I have the only brick and mortar stores in the world, indoor cycling specific brick and mortar stores. I'm the only company that I know of that packages the way that we do. Most people complain, they don't complain, they're shocked by how long it takes them to unpack our bike. So to answer your question, should you buy local or should you buy from Studio Cycles in California? Everything we do is way above the measuring stick. In fact, the measuring stick, I think, in the industry as a whole is embarrassing. If you buy a new bike from any other company in the world that I know of, they process your credit card, they send you a box. That's the extent of their involvement. And if you have a problem with the bike and you call them, generally you're referred back to the manufacturer. And if you buy a bike from us and you have a question or you have an issue with the bike when it arrives, you talk to me directly. Plus, most of our bikes come with our, I've done a series of tech manuals over the last 10 years. They're like Spin Bike Maintenance for Dummies books. Most of the bikes I sell come with one of those manuals, or if it's a newer model, it's being written as we speak. But when we sell a new bike, we take it out of the box, we tear it apart, we go entirely through it, we do a drivetrain treatment, then the bike is fully assembled. I ride and tune the bike myself, and then it's partially broken back down, and we take off the bases, the pedals, the handlebar, and the seat, and we over-package the bike. The bike has tools, all the assembly, all the incidentals related to the reassembly process have been checked and lubricated and tested. And we find things all the time with brand new bikes out of the box, whether it be a Keiser or a Schwinn or a Star Trac or a Le Mans. We do have a few of the Freemotion bikes here, but we are sending these bikes back. I'm not carrying Freemotion anymore until I see some consistency of the bikes out of the box, if I ever carry them again. So you can also call me and talk to me directly, 888-909-BIKE. 310-664-1375. Cell phone is 818-470-2204. You can call me 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week, and I will be happy to talk to you about the choices, which bike might be best for your application, if multiple people are using it, if you're a petite female, if you're a tall guy, if you're heavy set. Another thing is, a lot of people think I'm buying a bike for my home, so I should buy a home bike. Truth of the matter is that most people buy commercial bikes for their homes, because if it's used and it's completely rebuilt the way we do it professionally, it's a bike that will last you for the rest of your life. If it's a new bike, most people want a bike that is like the bike they're used to riding in their clubs. So I'm Jeff Wimmer from Studio Cycles. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and best of luck to you on your road to health and fitness.